Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. This is going to be a comprehensive deep dive of how to crack management consulting interviews. I did personally interview a lot of candidates for McKinsey and I'm using a lot of my experiences, observations to create a few tips and tricks that I'm going to discuss throughout this video. In this video, we are going to talk through two things. Number one, what is the format of the interviews? And number two, how do you crack these interviews? Now, before we jump into the video, a quick request. Please do go ahead and press on that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you do not like the video, you can unlike it later. A growing channel, so your support would mean a lot to me. Now, let's jump into the format. Every single consulting interview lasts for close to 30 to 45 minutes. And in this 45 minutes, you will be asked three types of questions. Number one, your resume-based interviews, resume-based questions. The second one is your personal experience-based questions, personal professional experience questions. The third one is your case interview questions. Now, what does resume-based questions mean? The interviewer will just skim through your resume and will start asking questions around one single bullet point. And then subsequently, they'll jump into another bullet point and another bullet point. Now, how will the discussion be structured around one single bullet point and how can you prepare for that? You have to use this framework of why, what, and how. Why you did a specific analysis that you mentioned in your resume bullets. The second one is what exactly happened in that analysis phase. For example, what is the exact analysis did you do? Is it benchmarking or is it competitor analysis or is it pre versus post analysis, regression, whatever it is. The third one in this what questions is what are the challenges you have faced and also what are some of the alternate approaches that you might have taken during this analysis. Finally, you jump into how you have resolved those challenges. Now, why do you need to prepare using this approach? This approach will help you think through every single bullet point comprehensively. And once you think through comprehensively during your preparation phase itself, you will be more structured in your answers and you will also come out as a more confident individual. You won't keep stuttering, you won't be looked upon as, hey, you are thinking in the dark for even some work that you have already done. So please spend at least 20 to 30 minutes for each one of these bullet points and start creating this why, what, and how format. That will help you to move forward into the next set of interview questions. The second set of questions that you will be facing is personal experience questions. This is called as personal experience interviews as well. Now, the questions that will be asked in this phase of the interview are pretty straightforward. You can get this list of questions from the Bain website itself. What are the challenges that you have faced in some of your recent projects and how did you overcome these challenges? Please don't go back and say that, hey, this was a technical challenge, because that technical challenges would already be covered in your resumes. This would be more around, hey, people management stuff, your leadership, your teamwork, your entrepreneurial abilities, your goal setting. These are the kind of topics that you should be thinking through these examples. Now, how do you prepare for this? You take up STAR format. STAR format is nothing but situation, task, action, and resolution. What was the situation that you were facing and what was the task at hand, and emphasis on action. When you are preparing for these stories, for every single story, make sure that you have STAR and ensure that you are spending most of the time on that actions part, what you did in the situation. I have taken a lot of interviews and the common mistake that a lot of candidates make is they emphasize a lot on the situation. I have this particular project and in that project there are 10 people and these 10 people had different problems and these 10 problems were coming up every single week. Please don't go into that narrative. The interview is about you, so focus on what you should be doing. Now again, preparing in this STAR format and ensuring that you have at least 6 to 7 stories for these questions that are available on the Bain website, and subsequently these kind of questions are also available on MBBs and other websites. Now prepare these questions and that will help you understand and listen to the question appropriately. If somebody is asking you a challenges question, please don't ensure that you are answering a teamwork question. You could be answering a leadership question. So prepare the question and answer accordingly, which will help you listen to the question in a much more detailed way, and subsequently your answer will all be appropriate. That's another common mistake that I have noticed. People just come and share the stories that they have prepared for, but they do not answer the question, and that mistake can be avoided if you prepare multiple stories. The questions are available on the Bain website. The format is something which I am giving you an emphasis on A. This should help you get to the second type of questions as well. The third type of questions is the case interview questions. Now, what is a case interview question? You will be given a hypothetical business situation and you will be asked to solve that particular situation problem. The fundamental skill that's being tested is how do you react to a business problem. Now, without understanding business, you can't solve these problems. So, you can be structured, you can have a great communication, but if your business skill is essentially zero, then you cannot clear these case interviews. Highly recommend before you go and open a case interview preparation book, please go start reading about different businesses. It could be, hey, why Amazon has laid off 18,000 people in the last 2 months, 3 months, or why Tesla is cutting down their prices in China, or why something else is happening. You start reading these news and then you will be able to derive the different factors from these news. Two different sources that I'll mention in this scenario. Number one, go on to McKinsey, BCG, Bain websites and they have a lot of articles that are being written. And these articles, reading through them will help you understand what's their latest thinking, and these are some of the questions that will be asked in the interviews as well. The second source, of course, I have created a playlist on business case studies. I'm using a similar format which I have personally learned at McKinsey, and this can also help you grab business concepts very quickly. Going into Economic Times or going into other news articles will definitely make you learn some of these things, but it will take a lot longer for you to learn the same exact things. Now, once you start understanding the factors, then start solving some of these business case problems. But before jumping into the solutions, list down all the factors. Once you list down all the factors, then believe that the interviewer is stupid. They can't remember what you are saying. So group them into small buckets. Like, hey, all these factors will come under the marketing bucket. All these factors will come under the sales or ops bucket. And then prepare bottoms up, but communicate the buckets first. That is, hey, this potential business problem can be solved by looking into marketing, and in the marketing these are the three factors. In sales these are the three factors. In operations these are the three factors. That is how you need to start your case interview preparation. This has to be an organically led approach. You cannot solve these problems by just going through a textbook 5 days before the interview. That cannot happen. Then once you start doing this for about a month, every day spend 30 to 40 minutes on this part. Subsequently, then you start go and prepare for different case interview types through the case interview books that are available out there, whether it is Victor Chang or whether it is some other book. I hope you understand for the third part, that's the case interview part, two aspects. Number one, continue to read a lot. Number two, make sure that you have organic structures before you go into these different case books. This is how you go and attack any case interview or any consulting interview to start with. Just to summarize, three things. The first one, make sure you are preparing for your resume bullets in the why, what, and how format. The second one, use STAR format to answer personal experience questions. And the third one is your case interview preparation. Make sure you read a lot of business news on a daily basis. Spend at least 30 minutes on these case studies and articles. Subsequently, start drawing your own structures before you jump into the case books. I hope this video is helpful. Again, if you have not liked the video yet, please go ahead, click on that like button. A growing channel would mean a lot to me. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.